Well, this is the last morning of my retreat at the Penuel Ridge Retreat Center here in Ashland City, and it's been a journey. And I've got lots of other little bits and pieces to share, but I thought I would do, if not my last video for this little um, retreat, if not one of the last, to just remind myself, and hopefully this will flow on to help some other people out there. When you're going through darkness, it's easy to forget the lightness. Um, and sometimes I have to remind myself that, like a blanket, I can pull that darkness over me myself. It can be triggered by other people or events, or sometimes it's just internal. The bottom line, after everything else is said and done, you come into this world alone, you go out of this world alone. So throughout the middle, hopefully we can gather the people and experiences and insights and events and things that will help create a nice, full, happy life. And that's wonderful, and that's what we do. Sometimes through life, things don't go as we planned. We don't have the people around us who could help or want to help. So at the end of the day, we do have to remember, when all else fails, the centre has to hold. It has to be me. I have to walk my way through this. I will also mention one thing about myself that I've recognised, and it's funny how you can know so many things about yourself but not know. You know how you do that automatic pilot routine where, yeah, we get it, but I'm not going to talk about it because it's too much, but yeah, I got a lid on it. And then it turns out later on, you know what, I didn't have a lid on it, and now that cancer is spread throughout the system, so I've got to weed it out and do all this delicate surgery and blah, blah, blah. But we tend to then start to pile on ourselves. Okay, what do I need? We're grasping. I need some healing modalities. I need people. I need this. I need that. But then everything becomes so complicated in this big mess because we're scrambling to find the answer. We're reaching out and saying, please, someone come and help me. What do I have to do? Where do I go? Is this what I was supposed to do? Be blah, blah, blah. But sometimes you just got to clear that path and say, okay, I've hit a junction where I know I'm not coping and my normal robot mode routine is not working. So rather than scramble and try to muddy the waters with reaching out and externalizing, somebody help me. It's like when you're free falling, there's nothing to hold on to. When you are in that point, and I have to remember to practice this myself, is that as soon as you know you don't have anything to hang on to, stop, close your eyes, and just breathe. Keep it simple, because I know that's one of the things I've learned about myself. I overcomplicate things, and I know that stemmed from a childhood where I had a mother who was alcoholic and who was also narcissistic. That's not to sully her memory, because she passed away in February 23, and there were aspects of her that were awesome, and I will always remember those awesome things, because I do understand that you've got to balance everything. But I've developed some habits that sprung forth from the survival mechanisms that I had to cobble together as a little kid, to at least cocoon myself to a certain extent away from whatever was coming at me, because it just depended on what day it was, how she was feeling, if she was drinking, and pretty much every day she was drinking. But it wasn't just that she was drinking, it was how she was when she was drunk. But anyway, I know I'm going on and on and on, but every time I talk about my childhood trauma, I end up doing that routine, because it's like I want answers. Why was she like that towards me? Why did she hate me? But she didn't hate me. Anyway, I didn't want this video to be about me zigzagging, seesawing, and doing my usual routine where I what, because I realised that when I was a kid, I was always scrambling for answers. I was always scrambling for people to, somebody come and, what, is this supposed to be happening? Am I supposed to be yelled at for something I didn't do? Am I supposed to be ridiculed in front of everybody because I've got my period and I didn't know? Am I supposed, you know what I mean? It gets really messy, so it's better just to wipe the floor. Let's return to center. Now, when I'm prepared, I will allow one thing at a time to come in and I will work on it, assess and review, put it where it needs to be. Now it's time. What's that next thing? It's a mindful meditative practice that you have to do in order to just maintain so you can keep putting one foot ahead of the other. Because sometimes when you're a cracked vessel and you're going through mental stuff, I mean, you're a cracked vessel, you've got things leaking, and not everything works properly because something's off kilter. And if nothing else, the thing that will maintain stability is just return to center. Because when we start scrambling and reaching and running out there is when we get manic, and that can put us in harm's way. And hopefully not anybody else in harm's way, but yesterday I had a freak out, and I talked about that, but just because I got locked out of the house, I had to go out and to get something. Anyway, while I was out and about outside of this retreat center, I knew in my mindset, oh, it's not stable because things weren't working the way they were supposed to, and oh my God. But I realized while I was driving around out there, okay, you're in a vehicle. You could put yourself and others in danger. So let's just go back to robot mode. As much as you turn your nose up at it, robot mode gets you through sometimes. So it was, I'm a human, I'm driving a car, I'm going down this road, I'm looking for this. This is all I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about, oh my God, I'm getting lost, or oh my God. No. So I got back here, and in that robot mode, I was able to calmly come through the gate, close the gate and lock it, come up here, use the code as she explained it to me to get back into the house. Everything returned to normal, and I have to remember to keep that robot mode in my back pocket, because if nothing else, when everything else is falling apart, that robot mode will help. Robot mode to me is the same as returning to center.